but over the years we've adopted some additional programs to honor other veterans. And the first one is, it's called Flags of Our Heroes. And Linda, do we have the people here, the families here? Yes, okay, excellent. So let me explain what it is, and then we'll do a little presentation on that. Flags of Our Heroes, and by the way, we did this on Flight Day, so the veterans got to learn about these two gentlemen that we're gonna honor. And their photos, which are displayed to my left, right just to the left of the veterans up front, these are two veterans that we're honoring. We got their photos, we make it into this size. We get a flag donated from a member of Congress, which, or from one of our legislators, which often help us with that. And then we take it down to Washington, D.C. At that memorial, where the veteran is from, we bring the photo and the flag, and we take a picture of it. Then we bring it home, and what we're doing today is the final part of that program, reading the bio, sharing it with you, and then presenting that to the family. So the first veteran, I'll invite the family, the Carroll family, to please join me up at the podium. Pick up your veteran's photo and then join me up here. Mr. Charles Carroll was born December 5th, 1922, and he passed May 2nd, 1984, and he's currently interred at the Veterans National Cemetery, Calverton, New York. Mr. Carroll was in the Junior Marines while in high school. When he was young, he fell and broke a milk bottle, which required surgery to reattach 3 fingers. This made physical work in the Navy a challenge and cut short his Naval Reserve service. He served in the Naval Reserve aboard the USS Simpson, Clemson-class destroyer, for 1 year. His stint in the Army began in February 4th, 1943. Though his time in the Navy was cut short, the Army only cared if he could pull the trigger and reload, so off he went. He landed in the first waves on Omaha Beach, Normandy, on D-Day. He served in the Ardennes, Central Europe, the Battle of the Bulge, and in Rhineland, assigned to Patton's army. As he would say, he didn't need a passport for that European trip. Much of his family was from the French-German Alsace-Lorraine region, so he grew up speaking both languages in Astoria, Queens. This helped him during his time in Europe. He left the Army November 30th, 1945. He married Eileen Goss, July 25th, 1949. They had 3 sons, Thomas, Donald, Kenneth, the last of which was a Marine reservist. So we honor Mr. Carroll here today. Mr. Carroll, we thank you for your Army and Navy service. Thank you, sir. And we honor the Carroll family for being here. Now I invite to the podium the family of Robert Wells Jones, please. Robert Wells Jones was born in September 1922 and grew up in Port Washington, New York. He was a Boy Scout and was just shy of making Eagle. Mr. Jones enlisted into the Army Air Corps with his mother's permission at age 19. Basic training was in Miami Beach, Florida. He was sent to Amarillo, Texas for aircraft mechanic training. His first assignment was in Salina, Kansas. Smoky Hill Airfield, Army airfields, supporting B-17s with supplies and equipment. Mr. Jones rose through the ranks quickly, and promotion led him to his final duty station in Kearney, Nebraska, Army Airfield, in charge of the weight and balance department. On his first furlough, he flew home to ask his girlfriend, later his wife of 71 years, to marry him. 5 days of convincing paid off. They were married with a day-long honeymoon in Brooklyn, and then he returned to Kearney to support the war effort. She later joined him, getting a job in the Quaker Oats factory making bombs. Besides packing and inspecting life rafts for aircraft, Mr. Jones got involved in many base activities, including the Air Corps football team. He made Buck Sergeant and was offered a 4-year hitch. With baby number 2 on the way, Mr. Jones finished his enlistment, and he and Kay moved back to their hometown to raise their growing family. Mr. Jones passed at the age of 101 on April 7th of this year, which was last year. A month before he was scheduled to fly to D.C. with Honor Flight Long Island. His granddaughter, also a veteran, was to be his guardian. She stands before us today, and she made the trip and honored her grandfather's memory and service by joining us.